My brother got my fiancée pregnant, and now my family wants me to forgive him. Imagine trusting your family completely, only to find out they were the ones who would hurt you the most. That was me. My name is Lucas, and a few months ago, I thought I had it all. A job I loved, a small but beautiful apartment, and Sophie, the woman I was planning to marry. Sophie and I had been together for 3 years. We met in college, fell fast, and built something real. She was funny, kind, the kind of person who made a room feel warmer just by walking into it. When I proposed, she cried. And when she said yes, I thought my life had finally begun. My family was thrilled, especially my younger brother, Ethan. He had always been the wild one, the unpredictable one. But he acted genuinely happy for us. We'd grown up close, and I believed, truly believed, that he respected what Sophie and I had, that he would never cross a line. I was wrong. Looking back now, there were signs. Times when Sophie seemed distant. Moments when Ethan would joke too much, stand too close, make eye contact that lingered too long. But I brushed it off. I trusted them. They were my world. I never imagined they would become the reason it fell apart. Sophie helped me pick out our wedding invitations. Ethan helped me move furniture into our new place. My parents gushed about grandchildren. I went to bed every night feeling lucky, and I woke up every morning believing I was one of the few who had it all. A perfect love. A loyal family. I even remember the last truly happy weekend we spent together. A barbecue at my parents' house. Sophie laughing with my mom. Ethan flipping burgers like he owned the grill. Everything felt simple. I had no idea that under all those smiles, something was already rotting. And soon, it would surface. Sometimes, betrayal doesn't scream. Sometimes, it whispers through silence and stolen glances. And by the time you hear it clearly, it's already too late. After that barbecue, something in Sophie began to shift. At first, it was small. She started staying late at work more often. Her phone was always face down. When I kissed her goodnight, sometimes she would flinch, just a little. I told myself she was stressed. Wedding planning could do that. I chose not to see it. Ethan, too, began acting strange. He stopped calling me as much. When we met up, he avoided talking about Sophie entirely. Before, he used to joke around, tease us both. Now, he was quieter, more guarded. He wouldn't even look me in the eye when I asked how things were going with his latest job. I started feeling like something was off, but I couldn't explain it. My instincts whispered, but my heart resisted. These were the two people I trusted most. The idea that they could be hiding something together felt insane. It was easier to believe that I was just imagining things, that I was being paranoid, but it only got worse. One night, Sophie came home late. I was sitting in the living room. She froze when she saw me, said she had gone for a walk to clear her head. Her hair was a mess, her voice shaky. I asked if everything was okay. She smiled, but her eyes didn't match. A few days later, I noticed Ethan's car parked 2 blocks from our apartment. At first, I thought it was coincidence. Maybe he was visiting a friend, but then I saw him again. Same spot, same time, sitting in the driver's seat, just waiting. When I called, he didn't answer. Not that day. Not the next. I confronted Sophie. She got defensive, said I was overthinking, that I was making her feel watched. I apologized. I didn't want to push her away. I didn't want to lose her. I thought if I just gave her space, things would go back to normal. I thought love could fix anything. I was wrong. And then came the night that changed everything. The night I learned that some betrayals don't just break hearts. They break entire lives. It was a Thursday night. I remember because it had rained earlier and the streets still glistened under the streetlights. Sophie was asleep on the couch, her phone buzzing quietly beside her. I never checked her phone before. I had always respected her privacy. But something in me snapped that night. I picked it up and saw a message preview. It was from Ethan. Are you going to tell him, or should I? My heart dropped. My fingers moved before my brain could stop them. I opened the message thread. There it was, weeks of conversation. Secret meetings, regret, guilt. Then I saw the words that made my chest cave in. I can't believe I'm pregnant. And Ethan's reply, we'll figure it out. But he has to know eventually. I stared at the screen in silence, my hands trembling. Sophie shifted slightly but didn't wake up. I felt like I was watching my entire life burn in slow motion. The woman I loved. The brother I trusted. Gone. I left the apartment that night without waking her. I drove for hours with no destination. The city lights blurred as tears filled my eyes. I ended up in a parking lot outside a gas station, gripping the steering wheel like it could hold me together. But nothing could. I was shattered. The next morning, I didn't go home. I called in sick and sat alone in the park, scrolling through those texts again. It wasn't just a one-time mistake. It was a full-blown affair. They had lied to my face for months, built their secret life inside the shell of mine. When I finally went back, Sophie was waiting. She knew. Her face was pale, eyes red. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just asked one question. How long? She whispered, since the night of your bachelor party. Of all nights. The one that was supposed to celebrate our future. I thought that was the end of it. But the real betrayal hadn't even started yet. Because my parents had known all along. And they chose to protect him. I didn't speak to anyone for 2 days. No texts. No calls. Just silence. I stayed at a cheap motel, trying to make sense of everything. I felt numb. Then my phone rang. It was my mom. I almost didn't answer. But part of me needed to hear what she had to say. Needed to know if they knew. Lucas, she said gently, we need to talk. Don't shut us out. You and Ethan, you're brothers. Mistakes were made, but family is forever. My stomach turned. She knew. Her tone wasn't angry at Ethan. It was soft, forgiving. I went to their house the next day. Ethan was already there, sitting on the couch like nothing had happened. My dad gave me a look full of pity, like I was the one who had done something wrong. My mother tried to hug me. I stepped back. I was barely holding myself together. You knew, I said, and you didn't tell me. My dad sighed. It wasn't our place. We thought it would pass, that it was just a moment of confusion. A moment of confusion? I snapped. He got my fiancée pregnant. That's not a moment. That's a decision. Ethan didn't say much. He kept his eyes on the floor. My parents did the talking for him. They asked me to understand, to be the bigger person. They said Ethan regretted it, that Sophie was confused, that maybe the baby would bring the family together. I felt like I was losing my mind. They didn't want healing. They wanted silence. They wanted me to pretend it never happened, to show up at family dinners, to smile through the pain. My entire future had been ripped apart, and they expected me to move on for the sake of appearances. For family. That's when it hit me. They weren't choosing right or wrong. They were choosing comfort, and they were choosing him. I walked out without saying goodbye. Because sometimes, survival means leaving behind the people who taught you to smile while bleeding inside. I didn't cry when I left my parents' house. I felt empty, like someone had scooped everything out of me and left nothing behind. But that emptiness gave me clarity. I knew what I had to do. I had to let go. Not just of Sophie, not just of Ethan, but of all of them. For years, I believed blood meant loyalty, that no matter what, family would stand by you. But what do you do when your own family turns their back on you to protect the one who destroyed you? You stop fighting for them. You stop begging for love that comes with conditions. I moved out of the apartment that weekend, left the keys and a note. I didn't say much, just that I hoped they would take care of the baby better than they took care of me. I packed what little I owned and stayed with an old friend from college. Someone who didn't look at me with pity. Those first few days were hard. I kept waiting for a call that never came. No apology. No admission. Just silence. And strangely, that silence became a kind of peace. I wasn't drowning in guilt anymore. I wasn't performing the role of the good son, the forgiving brother. I was just me. I started over. Got a new job in a new city. Took long walks. Read books I'd abandoned years ago. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real. I was rebuilding, one brick at a time, without their expectations, without their noise. Just me, my pain, and a chance to breathe. Sometimes I wondered if they missed me, if they sat at the dinner table and noticed the empty chair, but I stopped waiting for them to do the right thing. People show you who they are when it matters most, and when they did, I listened. Some betrayals leave scars that never fade, but scars can also remind you that you survived. It's been almost a year now. A year since everything collapsed. A year since I chose to walk away. People still ask me if I talk to my family. I just smile and say, not anymore. Some understand. Others judge. But I don't owe anyone an explanation. I know what I survived. Ethan and Sophie had the baby. I saw a picture once, not because they sent it to me, but because someone else posted it. For a second, I stared at that child's face and wondered what could have been. But I didn't feel longing. I felt distance. I felt freedom. I've built a quiet life. It's not perfect, but it's mine. I go to work, come home, cook for one. Sometimes I sit on the balcony with a coffee and think about who I used to be. The version of me who trusted blindly, who believed family always meant love. That version is gone. In his place is someone stronger. Someone who knows that love doesn't come from DNA. It comes from honesty, from protection, from respect. And sometimes walking away is the most honest thing you can do. Sometimes it's the only way to stop bleeding from wounds no one else can see. If you're reading this and wondering what I'd say to my family now, I'd say thank you. Not for the betrayal, not for the silence, but for teaching me how to protect myself, for showing me that I'm capable of starting over. We don't get to choose what people do to us, but we do get to choose what we do next. And I chose peace. I chose healing. I chose me. But what about you? If your own brother destroyed your future and your parents stood by him, would you find a way to forgive? Or would you walk away and start again, even if it meant walking alone?